YouTube, I ran across something very interesting today. This is on Direct D's channel. Cop stops the wrong man and learns a valuable lesson. This guy literally tells the police, if you pull me out of this car, we're about to have a gunfight on the side of the road right here. And this is like, I'm going to warn you guys, this is one of those videos that you watch and you're like, who's the good guy in this? Like, who is the good guy in this, right? Because you have everybody that hates the cops, and they're like, oh, these cops are terrible, whatever. Before we even get into all that, this guy got pulled over with no plates on the car, no license. Oh, and he has these feather things hanging off of his rear view mirror, which obstruct your view. I've literally been pulled over for that. And I fully understand that the police officers that pulled me over because of the dice hanging off of my windshield, okay, they weren't worried about the dice hanging on my windshield. They were pulling me over to check to see if I was doing anything wrong. And that's kind of their jobs, right? Like, everybody wants to talk shit about the police until a police officer randomly pulls over a serial killer and busts him on the spot. And then he's a fucking hero. But before that guy ended up being a serial killer that was busted, that cop was just a piece of shit harassing people on the side of the road. It's kind of like, but that's also like your job. So I don't have a problem with a police officer actually asking you what's going on. And yeah, these sovereign citizens with their, this is my right to travel, that argument falls flat on its face. Nobody is stopping you from traveling. You got two legs, motherfucker. Start using them and start walking down the damn road. You're lucky to have a road to walk on that's paved. We pay for that, right? But if you want to drive a car on that road, which can actually be considered a weapon when used in a wrong way, if you want the privilege of being able to drive down the street in a motorized car that can go hundreds of miles an hour and potentially run over a bunch of people and kill them or get into a car accident, then yes, you're going to have to jump through some hoops if that's the way that you want to travel. So your right to travel is not being trifled at all. As a matter of fact, if you were just walking down the side of the damn road, I doubt this cop would have even talked to you or wanted to. But the fact of the matter is, you're driving a car with no license plate and you printed off your own fucking license from one of these stupid sovereign citizen websites. And you're going to explain to this cop how this is my sovereign citizen right to travel. And here's the thing. This is what bothers me. You're wasting this cop's whole day. Like, this police officer could have been out actually doing something, busting somebody. Instead, he's talking to some fucking idiot that is like literally trying to explain the law to the police. And every time these sovereign citizens do, they sound like a freaking 8-year-old. They sound like an 8-year-old trying to explain to the police, this is a private citizen's vehicle, so this is my property. And they don't even stop and think how their stupid interpretation of the law would actually apply if everybody did this. Here's my question before we get into the this video. Leave me a comment. I would really like to know your answer on this, okay? What kind of world would we live in right now if every single person pulled the same no-brain, dumbass shit that this guy did, this sovereign citizen shit? What if every single one of us ripped the plate off of our car, didn't pay for car insurance, and drove around like this idiot? And I'm sorry, but like, yeah, you do have to have some liability insurance on your car, because when you drink too much and you smash into the side of my car, who's going to pay for that? Your dumb broke ass that can't do it? Like, no, of course, somebody has to be liable for that. Well, these people want to go right around that. Hey, I paid $4,000 for my truck. I should be able to smash it into somebody's $100,000 BMW, and they're stuck with the damages because I'm not insuring shit. I don't even have a license. I'm a sovereign citizen. You're getting in my way of travel. dude, you can travel right back to the shithole you came from with that kind of jargon. So here we go. This is just insane to me because this guy even threatens the cops with a gunfight. And I'm pretty sure here in Michigan, if some cops pulled me over and I said, hey, you pull me out of this car, we're going to have a gunfight right here, right now. I'm pretty sure, like, at that point, my teeth would already be getting broken in from the taser smashing through my window. And I don't know, I would already be having handcuffs put on me. I mean, I would be lucky not to get shot if I started talking about having a gunfight with the police. But let's see how it plays out for this fool.
I'm asserting my rights to travel.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm informing you that you have no jurisdiction or
And they always have the same shitty, raspy voice. Like,
authority over me.
So
And you're not trying to accept it.
you're not trying...
That's
Do you hear him? You're not trying to accept my fake ID. He keeps calling it a passport. You're not trying to accept my fake ass passport. That would be like me pulling out a pad of paper and drawing a badge on it and pulling it out on people and being like, you're not accepting my fake badge. I would be pulling a Herschel Walker. I don't know. I'm just trying to like... This just hurts my brain in so many ways.
Guy to pull me over to get it. I'll show it to you.
Show what?
It's real simple.
It is real simple. It's a piece of paper, probably with crayons on it, that has your freaking name on it that says, this is a license, a sovereign license.
I'm not... This is real simple.
It is real
You're
simple.
making it difficult.
No,
I don't
you're
feel-
making it difficult. It is really fucking simple. You can travel all you want, but if you want to travel in an automobile that can be used as a weapon and that could actually hurt the environment if it's not properly maintained, then yeah, this is why Canada has car inspections. You actually have to take your car into a place and they will inspect it to make sure that your car isn't hurting the environment, that your car is up to code. You think these broke-ass idiot sovereign citizens are going to take their car in for a checkup? You think they even care that their car is street legal or not? No, they don't. They really don't. So, and then that goes to their safety too. And the problem with this is, if you're driving around in an unsafe piece of shit, it's okay for you. You can risk your life with that. You chose to get into a shitty rust bucket and try to go 90 miles an hour down the highway. That's fine. End your life like that. But the problem is, you are now endangering other people on the road because you're driving your rusty piece of shit at 90 miles an hour. It breaks. You smash into somebody. Somebody loses their life. And, oh, would you look at that? You don't even have insurance to cover any of that. And then you wonder why you're sitting in jail. And then it's the whole world's fault and not yours. Because, hey, they were trying to stop you from traveling, right?
I am.
Well,
I'm the one making it difficult right now.
right, because I won't do what you ask. I don't have to do what you ask. You have zero authority over me. I don't contract with foreign corporations.
The right of a citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon, by horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile, is not a mere privilege which may be permitted or prohibited.
Oh, look at that. All that shit in this paragraph, I just came up with that on my own. I had enough common sense to know that walking down the street is different than riding a motorcycle or driving a car down the street. That is not your right. That is a privilege. And we have to pay for our privileges. Okay? If you can't maintain your car and keep it safe, keep it off the fucking road, because I don't want you smashing into me, knowing that you probably don't even have insurance to pay for any of the damn damage that you did. You don't want anyone to impede your right to travel? Start walking down the road, bud. I suggest getting a couple new pairs of shoes, because you're going to be doing a lot of walking. And then this guy's like surprised that the police officer doesn't want to accept his little driver's license ID. I'm about to go draw my own ID out and hand it to the police officers out here. I would get my ass beat. It's crazy to me that people are just even getting away with this shit and wasting this much of the police's time. And they're doing it to make a video. And this police officer knows he's being recorded. This guy is going to like try to ruin his career just to get 5.5 seconds of fame on YouTube. Dude, if you ever watch this, really think about this. Really think about this. What would happen if every single person did the same shit as you, printed up their own driver's license, had no insurance for the car, didn't get any tags? What would happen when someone smashed into you, bud? You would be all pissed off about it, right? Because, well, you would have to pay for all the damage, right? There's no insurance in this world, right? Now, wouldn't that be impeding your right to travel? Right, I would think that some idiot, some drunk idiot with no plates and no tags, smashing his piece of car into yours, smashing his car into yours and totaling it, that would impede your right to travel. I don't know. Let's see where they go with this.
Prohibited at will, but a common right which he has under his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, under this constitutional guarantee when may. Therefore,
I'm surprised they're not trying to use pursuit of happiness. No, you can't pull me over. I'm pursuing my happiness, and that's a right to me. I'm only happy if I can drive my car with no insurance and with my own made-up license. That's the only way that I'm happy, and I'm pursuing my happiness. Like, that's how dumb this argument is. You might as well use the pursuit of happiness in this argument. It's just as dumb, it's just as stupid, and it just doesn't make any damn sense either way.
Under normal conditions, travel at his inclination along the public highways or in public places, and while conducting himself in an orderly and decent manner, neither interfering with nor disturbing another's rights, he will be protected, not only in his person, but in a safe conduct.
No authority.
Your right to throw a punch ends at the tip of my nose. I think I'm quoting Matt Dillahunty here, who's probably quoting somebody else. These people, these sovereign citizens, really need to think about that shit. Your right to throw a punch ends at the tip of my nose. Because if they had their way, it wouldn't be like that. And also, just imagine what it would be like to even get a hold of the police and try to get a hold of somebody for help or anything when nobody is paying for their license, their tags, their registration. Our roads would turn to shit instantly, and idiots like this would probably have to walk. So, it's just insane to me that like a small number of people do this crap and they get away with it. I'm sure this guy goes to jail here and there for a day or two, and it just gets to the point where it's not worth the police officer's time. They're just like, oh, this idiot's trying to make another recording for 5 seconds of fame. You know what? I'm pretty sure I have a rape to go stop somewhere. I have like an actual murder case to solve or whatever. Not sit here and argue with this idiot over nothing, who's clearly has been driving around wanting to get pulled over with a camera ready. Like, come on, dude. You could have at least made yourself a fake license plate.
No jurisdiction. There's nothing in any law.
How's it a contract for you to get out of your vehicle and explain your passport to me?
I don't need to do any of that. I'm trying to explain to you, I don't need to do
any of that. All my passport's fake and I make it all up anyway. So what's the point of me explaining something fake to you that I made up? I might as well sit here and just make some more shit up. Here, you want my driver's license number? P110830. How many numbers do you need? I can make up that many. That's pretty much what this fool is saying. And this cop is trying to get him out of the car because, well, the guy's like threatening to have a gunfight. Here we go.
any of that.
I'm not saying you're...
Go get the passport, bud, and I will read it to you.
I was asking
Go get the
you
passport.
I am asking you to go get my passport, and I will read it to you. How about that? That makes all kinds of sense, but you ain't ready for that.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You and your made up fucking passport. Does that make sense? You and whatever stupid 5th grade shit that you drew on a napkin and whatever little numbers you put together to make a driver's license for yourself. That cop should wipe his ass with your driver's license, your passport. I'm sorry. We're calling it a passport because clearly this isn't a driver's license. This is like a passport, right? With this piece of shit paper that he drew crayon on. He has the right with that piece of paper to travel the whole world, right? He can take his passport to Italy right now. What happens when a sovereign citizen gets on a fucking airplane and just says, no, this is my right to travel. No, it's my right to travel and I'm not paying for a ticket, because that's what's next, right? That's what's next. Like, if you're stopping these idiots from driving illegally, I mean, it would be harder at an airport. You would literally have to sneak into a freaking plane. But with this stupid train of logic here, I could see some idiot sovereign citizen trying to sneak onto a plane with his passport that he drew in the car. And he actually thinks that his own freaking little piece of paper that he made has validity somewhere, has authority anywhere, and anybody has to read his chicken scratch crayon writings and actually like process that information. Come on, dude, get real. Get real.
Are you?
We're in a bind then.
Okay, we're in a bind.
I want you to get out and explain it to me.
I'm not getting out of this private automobile. Not happening.
Thompson v. Smith.
I'm not getting out of this automobile because my ass will go to jail for being a dumbass, and I'm smart enough to know that. Jeez, who is this guy? Who is that idiot? Who is that right-wing radical idiot who has the same damn raspy, shitty voice as this guy? He always has Marjorie Trailer Green on in the bunker. Alex Jones! Apparently, Alex Jones got pulled over in his Trailblazer with his Indian feathers. This is what happened.
154 SC 579, 11 American Jurisprudence, Constitutional Law, Section 329, page 1135.
And right in the middle of all that jargon, I'm just going to tell you guys right now where I'm coming from. I worked at a law firm for like 5 years, right? And I've always been just like a free-thinking American, right? And I've always kind of looked at the law and been like, you know, that's messed up, this is messed up, that's, you know, pushing people's rights and everything. But when I started working at that law firm and I got to like start seeing the other end of the spectrum, and then you have actual lawyers and legal professionals who actually start explaining some of it to you. This is done like this because of this. So that 3 steps down the chain, somebody can't turn around and say, oh, well, what about this thing? I'm off the hook. There is a protocol and a procedure for everything. And when there's not, that's how systems get cracks in them and how things fall through the cracks, right? And now you have these sovereign citizen idiots who don't even understand the law, and they don't understand the concept of the law changing and how it actually would affect everybody. They don't understand the concept of if every single person did what you did and acted like you and lived by their own made-up passport that they themselves drew, think of what kind of world that really would be, right? Because, hey, do you want to go buy a gun? Here, let me draw you a gun license. Grab me the red crayon. Here you go. You can go get an AK-47 now. Oh, it's your right to bear arms, right? Go scream at them and tell them that they're getting in your way of bearing arms, just like they're getting in your way of traveling, you know, by making sure that you actually have to pay your car, pay for your car, pay for the maintenance on it, insure it so you don't hurt people. What's next? Sovereign citizens showing up to a gas station and saying, I want the gas for free, because if you don't give me gas for free, you're treading on my right to travel. You're getting in the way of my right to travel. No, dumbass, you still have to pay for the gasoline. Like, they're so quick to smudge little details like that. They're so quick to look over things like that. And none of them ever stop to think, What happens if everybody else had the same stupid idea that I had and did the same stupid shit? What kind of world would we be in? You would be scared to drive down the road. There would be people driving junkers around, straight looking for people to smash into. It would be like a little fucking game for them. They would probably have a scorecard. Hey, dog, I just smashed into a BMW. That's 5 points for me, baby. I'm up this week. Like, and that shit would be real. That shit would happen. That shit would happen if every single person got to make up their own license plate, driver's license, and all that shit, just like this idiot did. That's actually what would happen. Just IMO.
The right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon, in the ordinary course of life and business, is a common right.
Yeah, you can walk down the road with your pockets full of as much shit as possible. It's your right to do that.
Which he has under the right to enjoy life and liberty, to acquire and possess property, and to pursue happiness and safety. It includes the right, in so doing, to use the ordinary and usual conveyances of the day, and under the existing modes of travel, includes the right to drive a horse-drawn carriage or wagon thereon, or to operate an automobile thereon, for the usual and ordinary purpose of life and business.
Is that his thing that he was
Not
gonna...
him.
Yeah, okay. They must have tracked down whatever bullshit driver's license, I'm sorry, passport card he had. That's probably what it said on it.
So ask them gentlemen politely, sirs, highway patrolmen, may I please have my
Look at this
passport
police
to read to the
officer.
sheriff?
Look at this police officer just closing his eyes and literally probably saying a prayer. Mary Mother, please, please give me the strength to not snap this man's neck like a goddamn twig. I like just look at this poor police officer just like, dude, come on. I have like actual real shit to do, real police shit to do. And you're sitting here just trying to make a video of me, making me look bad. I could have, this police officer in this time could have already probably ran, I don't know, 40, 50 license plates and maybe even got a hit on one of them. Could have maybe pulled somebody over with a stolen car, or, you know, somebody actually on their way to do something bad, right? This cop could be getting real dope off the streets right now. He could be locking pedophilers up. He could, he's standing here talking to some idiot about literally a piece of paper that this idiot made up. And he's using it as, like, come on, this is such second grade shit.
Sheriff,
They're not going to give it back to you until...
they're not going to give it back to me, so you're telling...
No, Alex Jones, they're not going to give you your napkin back that you drew a license on. Oh, no, you'll have to go to IHOP, get another crayon, and make another one.
me the highway patrol in Wyoming has stole my private property.
Oh, there we go. They stole it. Idiots like this love to say that shit was stolen from them. They stole his job. They stole his election. You know what? That's probably exactly... You know, this is Alex Jones. For fuck's sake, this is Alex Jones. Yup, the little Indian feathers. It's a nice touch. This is definitely Alex Jones getting pulled over. I'm calling it.
Is that what you guys are telling me?
You can claim...
No, it's not a claim, sir. That's another matter of fact of law. Does that passport belong to any of you?
Wait, that's not a claim. That's a fact of what? You're talking about a passport that passport doesn't belong to anybody because it's not real. It's not a real passport. It's a piece of paper with your scribblings on it, or something that you printed off from sovereigncitizen.com. If a cop pulls you over, roll your windows up and stick this in your window so they can read this warning, and that'll tell them, yeah. I'm so sorry if anybody is out there is just like dumb enough to read into that and fall for it and actually think that shit's gonna work with some police officers. Here's the thing too. These people that are doing this, okay? That's why this cop's not sweating this guy. It's clear as day that this guy's just doing this to make a freaking video. They do it on purpose. They're not, like, people that are doing this shit aren't driving around with, possessing illegal things, or you know what I mean? They're gonna go do this, and they're gonna go toe the line. They're gonna go piss off the cops and waste as much of their time as humanly possible, right? Without actually doing anything illegal or to go to jail or whatever. Now, I don't know if this guy went to jail over this. I kind of hope he did, just over wasting this much goddamn time with just stupid shit. And here's another thing. After working at that law firm, here's what I can tell you. Why are you talking to the cop? Why are you talking to the fucking cop? If you want to discuss law and you want to argue it, that's what your day in court is for, right? All this stupid shit with your made-up license, you know what? Get the ticket from them, go to the court date, and talk to that judge. Show that judge your stupid-ass little condom wrapper that has your ID number stamped on it that you put on there yourself. Go explain to a judge why you think you can drive down the road without a license plate, why you shouldn't have to pay the tax to fix our roads and our potholes, even though you want to be out there driving on the road, creating these potholes, right? And endangering other people by having an uninsured vehicle, so that when you smash into everything, everyone's going to have to pay for the damage except for you, because you're broke as fuck already. I hope that we do something pretty soon, so that when people are literally trying to bait police officers into wasting a shit ton of time, that there is like something that can happen to these idiots. That's all I'm gonna say. And I mean, like, I am not on Team Bacon at all. I am not. I'm one of the first people to admit that most police officers are doing it for the wrong reasons. They're doing it for the power trip. They're doing it, but that doesn't mean that all of them are. And there are actually some good people out there. There are actually some police officers that literally become cops just to change people's perspective on police officers. They're not all bad. You can't just group up a bunch of people and judge them all and group them all up together based on their sex, their skin color, where they're from, anything like that, including their job, right? Just because my cousin is a garbage man and he's a shitty person in real life, I can't just say, well, my cousin is a garbage man, he's a piece of shit, so now all people that are garbage men, they're all pieces of shit, because clearly they have to be just like my cousin because, well, they do the same job, right? That just doesn't compute. That doesn't work. That none of that shit works in the real world, okay? There are good police officers out there actually just trying to do the right thing, okay? There are. I know they exist. I've met a few of them, right? But I've also met a ton of shitty cops and people doing it for the wrong reasons. And they can be some of the worst people out there too, right? But in this case, I think this officer is being very patient, considering this guy actually brought up having a gunfight. Let's see.
Does that passport belong to any of you?
No, it doesn't
The
belong
answer's-
to you either. It's made up. It's made up. That's like, it's, oh my goodness.
No. And if you're not giving that back to me, which is my said possession, what is that called?
Sir, that's called a Denny's napkin with some scribbling on it.
What's that called? As LEOs, you should know what that's.
Let me know.
That's called theft.
Oh,
Okay?
now, where is it?
So, young man, may I have.
Now he's lecturing the police on matters of the law and what is and what isn't illegal. I love it.
My passport, please, to read to the sheriff.
Okay, the only way you're getting your passport is once you step out of this vehicle.
Why do you want me out of this vehicle so bad, you guys?
Because there is state law.
I would just call a tow truck and I would just have them tow his car with him in it. It's his right to travel.
Case law, Pennsylvania versus...
Case law is not law. That's where you're wrong again.
Case law is not law to a sovereign citizen because they don't give a shit about cases. They don't believe in the law. So him even arguing that is just absurd.
Law ain't law.
Okay.
Not even close. What you guys need to do
Uh-oh.
is understand
What
that
is
I
it,
am
Alex?
correct.
Alex Jones.
You have no authority over me.
Tell him, Alex.
None.
Tell him.
I don't have to get out of this private automobile.
You're just going to have to pay him millions of dollars.
I don't have to obey your corporate bylaw speed limits.
Hundreds of millions.
Okay, let me just explain this to you. You're not leaving here until you step out of the vehicle.
Then I ain't leaving.
Hell. I'll stay here forever. Hell, the South will rise again. Come on, dude. Come on. This ain't the time to...
I'm not going anywhere. And your threats don't mean jack to me, bud.
Well, it's not a threat.
It's a hell if it ain't. You're threatening me to get out.
Actually, stop right here. Who's being threatening right now? Like you who is actually screaming like that and projecting your voice, or them, they're talking to you calmly and clearly and not showing any emotion. They're trying to be logical with you. So, X-nay on that, you sound like a raging idiot already.
This vehicle so you can try to kidnap me. Meanwhile, you've stolen my property.
There's one thing to have emotion behind your voice when you're driving a fucking point home, when you are absolutely correct about something and you are just bringing the goddamn hammer down on it. And it does work. It's a good, it's a good speaking tool, right? But when you apply that same thing and you're completely wrong in your argument and you're like dropping the hammer and getting loud at just like the most wrong part of the argument, then you just sound like a complete and utter dumbass. That's what that is. So here we go.
And you can't even admit that.
It's the property of the United States government, actually, sir.
No, it is not.
Yes, sir.
What is possession?
No, because property is an abstract concept that I don't conform to. Alex Jones in the bunker.
It is property.
What is possession,
Wait,
sir?
first of all, then leave me a comment. Let me know what your bet is. I would bet my left pinky that this guy watches Alex Jones. I just would. Like, I can just hear a lot of the stupidity in his stupidity.
I know you can't argue with me because you don't know the law.
Oh!
Possession is...
I would pay to watch him go into a courtroom and... Because he would say all this same shit to a judge, too. Like, this is all he's got. This is the whole sovereign script this idiot has. And he's going to drop it on every police officer, every single... Like, this is all this guy's got. So I would love to hear this argument of his, like, in front of a judge.
9/10 of it, correct?
All I said was...
Huh?
All I said... When I stopped you, I didn't say you're getting a ticket. I never said you're getting a ticket. I just want you to step out so we can talk face to face.
We are talking face to face.
I just want you to step out so I can make sure you're not some crazy, raging lunatic on your way to go murder somebody. I'm a police officer, and that is my job. I'm supposed to run people's plates. You don't even have a plate, so I'm just doing my job. If anybody looks over my report, my fellow police officers and my boss are going to say to me, wait a minute, you pulled over some guy in a Trailblazer with no license plate. He handed you a driver's license that he made up. Oh, and he had those fucking Indian feather things hanging off of his rear view mirror, and you just let that guy go? Really? You just let that guy go? I would even try, you know what? I would even try to approach it from that way. Dude, I'm just trying to do my job, right? You have a job somewhere doing something. I'm sure, like, anybody looking from this logically could see why a police officer would want to talk to somebody if they're driving around. Like, that could be a stolen car. There's no plate on it. Who knows what this guy's deal is? Like, that's literally their job, is to investigate something like that. Right? It would be different if this guy had a legal car and had everything. Like, he wouldn't even be getting pulled over right now. Or who knows? That police officer could have seen this guy swerving. He could have seen him driving suspiciously or just hitting a curb. Who knows? But the point is, this isn't how you act.
Out of your vehicle?
No, I'm not getting out of my private automobile. This ain't a vehicle.
It's not?
Campbell v. Walker, 78 Adel 601, 603, 2 Boys, Dell. 41. The owner of an automobile has the same right as the owner of other vehicles to use the highway. A traveler on foot has the same right to the use of the public highways as an automobile or any other vehicle.
Yeah. Really?
Okay?
What is it then?
It's a private automobile.
Oh,
Actually,
so
Congress
it's not
passed
an
a law
automobile?
July 8th of this year
This year.
that nobody in the United States needs a driver license unless they're dealing in commerce.
Oh, they must have passed that law, and just none of us knew it except for this guy. Come to find out, everybody, you don't need to go to Secretary of State this year. Apparently, you don't need to renew shit. You don't need to do any of that as long as you're just driving your own personal cars around. According to this guy, he somehow got the memo, but the rest of the world didn't. Now, this guy must really be plugged in to brainworms.
You all been informed of that?
We have been
missed
now.
that one.
Well, of
We
course.
have been now. Thank you, Alex Jones, for putting us on notice. Thank you. We know.
It's because you guys are revenuers for a foreign corporation.
Damn right, I'm a revenuer. What the revenuer? Revenuer. Yeah, I might want to actually jot that one down to look that one up. Revenuer. The hell is a revenuer? I'm assuming it's somebody that's used to generate a revenue. Is that where this get? Okay.
Running under statutes and codes. None of you have ever studied the law.
Oh, says the guy that literally just made up revenuer. Should be, you know what? Okay, right. Maybe this guy has studied the law. I mean, he is smart enough to make up his own fucking words, clearly. Maybe. Who knows? This could be the next Chili de Castro over here. Straight up. This guy's messing with a real legal scholar here.
United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 1. Full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. January 19th, 2011, Judge
Okay.
May's conclusion of law was that the Dallas Police Department and the North Carolina Department of Transportation are both private entities that do not fall within the executive branch of state government. This
I don't know if I'm even going to be able to make it through this whole thing, but however this plays out for this guy, it's just painful to think about. I could see some police officers running into some pig-headed idiot like this, right? And then after 25 minutes of all of you standing there and getting ready to have to potentially, rip this guy out of his car and all this stupid shit, right? Well, when a call comes in through the radio or something and there's some real crime happening or some real shit, somebody's drunk driving on the other side of town and maybe smashing into buildings or, just there's a robbery in progress over there. What do you think these police officers are going to do? And this might be one of these cases where these police officers were getting ready to deal with this guy and some calls came in and they were just you know what? We'll pick up old Randy here later. We're obviously going to see him driving around with no plate, thinking that he can do this. So you know what? Why don't one of us just pull him over tomorrow or when we have time to literally deal with dumb trash? Because that's how I would look at this as a police officer. I would show up to this shit and be like, who's got this one? Okay, everybody else, go on, go actually do some work. So I'm thinking if this guy did walk away from this,
decision was upheld in judicial review by Judge Ridgway. This means that every police department in the country is a private entity. In other words, they are private contractors and private for-profit businesses.
Yep.
So if a walking-out security guard driving an armored car pulled you over and tried to give you a ticket, what would you do? Governments descend to the level of a mere private corporation and take on the characteristics of a mere private citizen, where private corporate commercial paper, Federal Reserve notes and
these people want to think that, you know, if something is a private business or whatever, it can't do nothing to me because I have rights or whatever. Like, these private entities, they can ruin your life. They can put you into debt. They can destroy your credit rating. There's like a reason. And these are all things that we have built ourselves. These are systems made literally to govern and to help people, right? And it's just never going to work for everybody. You're always going to get a basket case like this here and there, but I just feel like I'm seeing more and more of this, and this needs to just like not become the trend. What really pisses me off is I saw another one where, guess what? The guy wasn't even a real sovereign citizen. He was pretending to be one. He had a driver's license. He hid it. He didn't want the cops to see it. And he kept just baiting them and whatever, and would not give them his name and just like simple information from a driver's license until finally push came to shove. And then, wouldn't you know it, after wasting their time for 40 minutes, he ended up giving them his driver's license. And it's like, wait a minute, dude. If you're a sovereign citizen, why would you even be driving with your driver's license? Like, if you were legit, you would have cut that shit up and you wouldn't even possess a goddamn driver's license. If you do, why would you sit there and pretend? It's just to make a video, just to waste time. And I can only imagine how much of our tax dollars are really getting wasted right now dealing with idiot keyboard warriors trying to make a video to get like some views. Like, that's what this comes down to. There's probably 5 cops that had to stand there and deal with this guy for 40 minutes for nothing, right? And of course, all of these people, like I said, they want to toe the line as much as they possibly can. They're making sure that they're not doing anything illegal. They're getting right up to the edge of that cliff and being so brave, right? And I don't know, I've just been seeing too much of it, and this is going on the shitty people's playlist because whoever this guy is, I'm just going to call him Alex Jones, because he literally sounds like that to me. And I think I've ruined enough of my day of listening to Alex here. That's about as much of that shit as I can take. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this growing problem in our society. Later.